me, the goal of this platform is just to give insight and educational inspiration to young ladies in particular in their 20s throughout this decade that I found very challenging for me, very confusing, very fun. But through all the fun that you have, understanding that there's fruit that has to be eaten in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s for the rest of your life. And what type of fruit are you bearing? You know, you want to enjoy the fruit. You want it to be healthy. You want it to add volume, more volume to your life in every area of your life. And what I mean by that, like, you want to be able to have more fruit. And I believe in your 20s, choosing things that actually align with who you are. That is the most challenging thing, because we are given ideas about family. We are given experiences, and we actually experience family. But when we get to our 20s, I feel like for me, starting to have conversations around, okay, gosh, I think this way, I feel this way, I have patterns, I have habits, and where do they come from? They come from our family. They come from our family. And now we all have our own personality, our own things that we like. I'm talking about the foundation of who we are. It comes from our childhood. It comes from the experiences that we had with our family. And so on for each F-bomb family, I came up with just, I would say, a definition. My background is a teacher, and I just try to come up with practical things that work for me. How can I see my family throughout my entire life? But in my 20s, what did I wish? How could I have seen it? And I see it as appreciation and individuation. I've always kind of be a person of, and I think most people just depend on the ground, like family, family, family. Support my family. I love my family. I'm there for my family. I go and have trips with my families. I vacation, and we throw parties, and we celebrate family. And I think all of that is beautiful. But the challenge to me in my 20s is to individuate. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the 4 ways to individuate. Family is a foundation, but we have to create the layers. We have to build those stairs that lead us to our highest self. And you're going to feel like you're not moving yourself away from family. Again, you have the foundation, but you are elevating as you should. And I've shared this with my mom, and I believe every mother. I'm a mother now, a new mom, still a new mom. My daughters are 3 and 5, but I definitely want my daughters to have a better life. And better doesn't mean anything but better. Evolution. If the next generation is not doing better, then what are we doing as parents? So that's my goal. I feel like I should have a better life than my parents provided for me, and my children should have a better life than what I had. And I want their children. And again, that's the goal of evolution. So with that being said, 4 ways to individuate, because what I feel and what I experience is that if we're not disrupting patterns, habits, thoughts, beliefs, then we're not evolving our families. So in your 20s, what I would share, what I wish I had thought of it this way, I wanted to share 4 ways. And number 1, no particular order, but this is a very important piece, is beliefs and values. You have to establish your own beliefs and values. It's just really, what do I believe? And now, again, we all are unique. We all have different experiences with our family. So what I have found, and again, not just experience in my own self, but other young ladies, you're always going to have, I feel like, 2 voices in your head. Now, for me, it's about 4 now. But in your 20s, for me, I think early on is that yourself, what you want to do, thoughts, beliefs, whatever. But it's that whoever, they could be an uncle, it could be an aunt, it can be a grandmother. Mine was my father. It's going to be, to me, the most dominant voice, that not necessarily even that's very supportive of you, but it's kind of like that devil's advocate. I truly believe that. And that's it's like our brain doesn't remember all of the great things, although it does. We have to take time to do that, or just go down memory lane, or pull out our photo album. But our brain, we don't have to do a lot of thinking or a lot of reflecting on those negative things that have been said to us or that we have experienced. And so it doesn't mean that that person is negative, although they can be. But the truth is, they're the most dominant voice. And for whatever reason, you probably have a belief system that's different than theirs, that's different than what they wanted for you. And I believe for me, definitely, my dad had a very strong belief system. He had a very rigid way that he wanted my sisters and I to live, to do. He was very straightforward about it. These are the 3 things I need y'all to do. He told us early, and myself included, we all were like, I never articulated it, but he always said rebellious, but I always did what I wanted to do. And I think that's important. Now, again, understanding your values and beliefs and articulating them to individuate yourself for that your parents can see you as an adult. I think that's important. That's something, whether I did it or not, doesn't mean he's going to change, but I'm here to talk to you about you, not your parents. But the truth is, when you show up as an adult, your parents, they have no choice but to see you as an adult and continue to love and support you if that's who they are and that's what they choose to do. So my goal is to help you see yourself as the beautiful adult that you're becoming, and how can you make this an easier process? And number one, again, values and belief systems, you need them. What are your beliefs and values for your own life? For me, I had to disrupt the thoughts around religion, sin, right and wrong, rigid way of living, do this, don't do that. I had to disrupt that. I don't believe that. And it just took really me choosing and doing things what I really felt within, and not even necessarily having to articulate it. I'm a person that I can articulate myself. If I have to write something out, I'm really good at that. But just to sit and speak to someone like, this is what I want to do, and knowing they don't want me to do that, that's challenging for me because I have to absorb that energy and not respond to it. So I know that about me, and I'm learning to grow into that because that's something we should do healthy. But some people are just so rigid in what they believe. I'm not going to fight, and I don't have time for dogma. So I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I think that helped me to survive, but I am in a place of thriving, and I want you to always be in a space in your life where you feel free. And what I believe is that when you establish your values and beliefs in your 20s and you know them, articulate them if you need to, then it helps you be free in who you are. So one way to individuate, individuals becoming an individual, you are still your family's lineage. You are still a Williams, a Jones, a Barber. I'm still a Miller, a Dean, whatever it is, a Miller. That was my name before I got married. Brown, my maiden, my mom. All of that is within me. And I pull on those strings. Believe me, there's a lot of things from both of my sides of the family. I pull on it, but the truth is I am only me. I can only be me. And there's a lot of things that I'm just going to be me. And individuating is, these are my values and beliefs, looking at my family dynamics, and this is what I do want. A lot of things I didn't, and I chose differently. So choose. That's the beauty of you being you. Choose differently, but you can only choose, if you know what you believe, and you have to know what you value, okay? Another one, number two, is, and I kind of alluded to it, have the hard conversation. And I think communicating like an adult. You want your parents to see you as an adult, speak like an adult. It doesn't mean we use large words. It doesn't mean we have long conversations. There's a young lady in IM, and she shared that with me recently, and she said, I just told my parents that's not what I want to do. I'm not sure what I want to do, but that's not what I want to do. And I really admire that she had the conversation. They said, oh, well, whenever you decide what you want to do, or you know exactly what you want to do, we support you. And I think sometimes I'm more fearful to say something because I know what they actually believe. But when you have a belief or something that you don't want to do and you just say it, you never know the support or not that you may get. Either way, you're going to do it. Support or no support, you have to realize that support comes, I promise you, on this journey. But the key is knowing what you want to do. And even again, if you don't know what you want to do, knowing what you don't want to do is key. In your 20s, knowing what you don't want to do is powerful. There's a lot of times I may not know exactly what I want to do, but I definitely didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do what was laid out for me. I didn't want to do what was told. And that's okay. So communicating like an adult is a very important space. That's number two. Number three is cutting the financial bank. This is important. You have to cut the financial ties in a healthy way. If your parents are in a place to really help you financially and really help you through your 20s, I think that's beautiful. I want to be able to do that for my children. There's a difference between your parents helping you because you need an investment, or maybe you're in a tough spot, but versus just supporting you. If you want to be seen as an adult, you've got to cut the bills being paid, get an extra job, support yourself financially, cut back. If you have a lifestyle that you can't afford because your parents are paying for it, you really can't afford that lifestyle. You and your parents are really, that's you and your parents' lifestyle. You being an adult is having a lifestyle, choosing one that's affordable, one that you can live in within your means. And if you hit a tough time, that's what family's for. We're not talking about that. We're talking about them funding you every month, cutting off some money. They're going to have an opinion on your life. They're going to always feel like the parent because if they are funding you. So please find a way to cut back or just earn more money, but just, hey, I remember my parents were paying my car insurance all through college. Very grateful for that. I remember I wrecked my first car and my parents gave me a car so I didn't have to have a car payment. These were things that were done. Very grateful for that. Very appreciative. And it got to a point, I can't remember how old I was, but it was like, okay, I could pay my own car insurance. And I believe it was after college I had to do that anyway. But the point is, that's part of individuating. Growing up is financial responsibility. And we talk a lot about that here on I Am from a mindset standpoint. It's a mindset standpoint because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not any of these things, to be honest. My background is education, a teacher, and I want to inspire you to be the best version of you through simple habits that have to do with choosing your way. And it's you not even so much understanding everything about yourself. This is a continual process of understanding you, but when you choose, you begin to understand more, you gain more confidence. When you choose your way, you do understand more about yourself. You find value in who you are. But that only comes through you choosing your way and not regurgitating, not taking all these patterns, behaviors, and systems with us and ignoring the most empowering and powerful system within. That's it. So, values and beliefs, have the hard conversations, cut the financial bang. And the last one is wisdom, making wise choices. This is very important. And I know in our 20s, sometimes you don't feel like you're wise, but you're wise. You're very wise. All wisdom is experience and knowledge and then making the best choice. It's not, I wouldn't even say best, it's the better. Wisdom is experience and knowledge. You have 20-something years of experience, knowledge, because you're seeking, you're here, you're listening, you're finding tools. But what's the best decision for me in this moment? Best is not always best every time. Best is in this moment, this is a better. And you have to do that. If you are making poor decisions your entire life, your parents are they're gonna always want to come help you, save you. And you leave me alone, I'm adult. No, you're not making adult decisions. So therefore your parents are going to be who they are with your parents. Some parents are going to just pull back and be like, I'm gonna let you, learn. Everybody's parenting style is different, but the goal of this video is to remember, you want to be an adult, you have to make wise choices. This is key. You are wise. In your 20s, you are wise. What does that mean? In this moment, I have a decision to make. And wisdom looks like, and this may be funny, but this is me. Like, I definitely was the one hanging out with my friends in my 20s at night, drinking, wake up, I'm going to church Sunday morning. We were on trips and they laughed, but that was me because that was my belief system at the time. Like, I need to go to church. And it was more of a, not belief, but the pressure, but that's another story. But the point is, I made sure I handled what people may say business. And that was the business that I chose. Doesn't mean that it was in line with what I really believe ultimately, because I was doing those behaviors. Like, I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to hear, somebody talk bad about me or say things that I didn't want to hear. So I would just do things. But the point of it is, it still was using the knowledge and the experience that I had to make the best choice for me in that moment. And those are kind of off, but those are truth. Like, I still would do things that I wanted to wake up. Another one be if I still want to hang out or do something at night, I'm still waking up going to the gym in the morning. I'm not going to neglect the things in my life that I know will lead me to a brighter future. In your 20s, you're going to do things that, for me, fun is hanging out with friends, going out, karaoke, having drinks, whatever it is, that's me. Having drinks is not the same as being addicted or so hungover you can't get up and do the things you need to do to be productive the next day. Those are two different things. Responsible 20-year-olds, you do the things that have fun, you wake up and handle your business. That's the wisdom. So make the wise choices that's going to lead you to your future, okay? If you're in college, you're hanging out, get up and get to class in the morning, okay? You can do those parties, whatever you want to do, but get up and make that A. That's what you're in school for. Get up to make that B, C, whatever your goal is in that class, get up and do it. You're wise, you can do it. So that's what wisdom is really experience and knowledge, making the best choice in this moment. I hope these things helped you to individuate. Again, individuating is a part of adulting. In your 20s, it's challenging. It can be confusing, no matter what your background is. Healthy relationships with your parents, that's not what this is about, healthy or unhealthy. I had to individuate based on my journey. You're going to have to individuate. We all have to do it, no matter what our parental background is. So stay close to your soul and continue to do the things that make you whole. Remember, our family, we have to appreciate who they are, what they've given us, because they've given us a beautiful foundation in which we can build, okay? So have a great day. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, subscribe. Join us here weekly for conversations around the F-bombs: family, fitness, fashion, food, finance, and fun. Have a great, great day.